It's really loud. I always forget. I have yoga before this, so I turn my volume up. Okay, so I'm going to place my hands on my heart and take in that deep breath of love and gratitude. So grateful for this opportunity to come together with these precious souls. Grateful for our willingness to have open hearts, open minds, to shine away any and all blocks to love. To allow ourselves to release any sense of false idols, any beliefs in thoughts that are not of God, knowing that truly all of our thoughts are thoughts of God because God is the only one. Your mind is the mind of God. We're grateful for our willingness and desire to heal back to the root cause any and all false beliefs and thoughts that may be causing misperceptions in this seeming lifetime. We're grateful to call on our mighty companions, all of our earthly and heavenly helpers. We ask that they join us now, surrounding and supporting us, leading and guiding our conversation, blessing our conversation, blessing the technology we get to use to come together, blessing all those who are here now, all those who may listen later. So very grateful for this opportunity to share the benefits of this conversation, of this prayer, of the love and the blessings that we are with everyone because we're one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be. And so it is. Amen. Oh, prayer called in a few more folks. All right. So I'm going to start us off. We are in chapter 29 of the text, section 8, titled The Antichrist. And I'm going to start us in paragraph 2, where he says, let not their form deceive you. Idols are but substitutes for your reality. In some way, you believe they will complete your little self for safety in a world perceived as dangerous, with forces massed against your confidence and peace of mind. They have no power to supply your lacks and add the value that you do not have. No one believes in idols who has not enslaved himself to littleness and loss, and thus must seek beyond his little self for strength to raise his head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. This is the penalty for looking not within, for certainty and quiet calm that liberates you from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. And then I wrote on the side after reading that, I am interested in the way of my being aligning with the truth of my being. There's no body healing. There's no healing of the past. There's no healing about the future. There is only this now moment, and that is all that is real, and love is all that I am in this moment. And I'm feeling a little bit challenged about the idol of the body at the moment, because I was exposed to someone on Saturday who has COVID. And so I'm trusting that no matter what happens is exactly what is supposed to happen. If I get it, I'm supposed to get it. But I'm also trusting that and knowing that there are miracles and there's the possibility that I won't get it. I have been vaccinated. but I was not wearing a mask. I let my guard down. And I trusted this person that if they were not feeling well, that they would have been masked, and they weren't. So it's a lesson for me. Any frustration or anger that I have is really against myself for, being out in public and not wearing my mask when I know that that is the right thing for me to do, especially with Rudy's autoimmune challenges. So I'm having to deal with the inconvenience of masking in my own house and sleeping on the couch. But it's just an inconvenience, and I don't have any anger really towards my friend because she was just ignorant. She just didn't know. She just assumed that it was her seasonal allergies, and probably would not even have tested if I had not bugged her about it. So I am dealing with this sense of the body as my idol right now, in either direction. And really interested in just letting that go and having the way of my being align with the truth of my being, which is that I am perfect, whole, and complete. So that's where I'm starting us off. Who else would like to share? Leslie.
Hello, everyone. I just, where'd you go, Linda? Oh, there you are. I certainly understand what you're saying about the body as an idol, because I have had some serious health challenges in the past, and I had the thought, if only I was cured, I would be happy. And if only, I'll never forget, and this is in my younger days, but I thought if I could just weigh 118 pounds, my life would be perfect, and I did all kinds of crazy stuff, and it was really miserable. And I'll never forget that day I stepped on that scale and I weighed 118 pounds, and it was like my heart just fell out of my chest. I'm like, well, now what? I weigh 118 pounds. Now what? I'm still not happy. I'm still as miserable on the inside as I am on the outside. So, and I know whether or not you have COVID, I know you well enough, Linda, that yes, I love what you said, it's an inconvenience, but I believe in my heart that you're still joyful regardless of the income. And I'm so grateful that I've come so far to know that my body is just an idol. It's not who I am. It's not who I am. And I mean, I just love this section because it's just what everybody always says, oh, as soon as my kids grow up, I'll be happy. Or as soon as I have kids, I'll be happy. Oh, when they get out of school, I'll be happy. Oh, when I have grandkids, they'll be happy. I mean, it's always something outside of us. And it never, talk about the ego's playground and the ego making us miserable because nothing else. I've proved it to myself, I feel like hundreds of times. I know that's an exaggeration, has not been that many times, and that's why I originally joined Jennifer's classes, because I'm like, I was so sick of feeling like a ping pong ball and reacting to everything. And it's like, I want to understand how the peace is within me. And I can't do it justice to explain to anybody, but I get it. And I'm so grateful for that. So grateful for that. So I know I wasn't here last week, but I thought last week's section was really good too. So thank you, everyone. It's good to see you.
Glad you're here, Leslie. Thank you. Gwen.
Hi, Leslie, I can really relate about the 118 pounds, but for me, it was never 118. But nonetheless, that I totally understand and relate to that. If only, I have that perfect partner, or I'm a certain size, and I've been through all of it. And of course, still dealing with certain things. And as far as the COVID, Linda, I can understand that whole concern. I guess I have the feeling that we're all probably going to have some derivative of it at one point or another. But nonetheless, if we do, we want to go through that experience, get a mild case and be done with it and not have anything really, devastating that we have to deal with. And decided to share this because I have a little situation regarding the vaccine. You know, not being the body, not getting caught up with, but for me, I'm somebody that's alternative. I have been alternative my entire life. My 3 grown daughters have not been vaccinated with any of their vaccinations. And I know this is a very controversial subject. I understand for everyone, and I respect everybody's choices and decisions. We have to go with the knowledge and understanding we have in life, whatever we're doing to make decisions. In any event, so I was vaccinated for a couple. I decided to address indoctrinated beliefs that I've had my whole life. And that had something to do with it. Nonetheless, I haven't shared it with all of my family, not because I'm afraid or whatever, but I just kind of felt like I don't owe anybody an explanations what I'm doing or what I'm not doing. And certainly most of my family members are against it. And I'm not sure what their reaction would be. And I just decided not to deal with it. This is my personal life, whatever. Long and short, there was a conversation with my middle daughter, Yelena, on Saturday, and we were talking about their having not seen another family member on her husband's side because they're not vaccinated, but her in-laws are. So there's this isolation and this separateness. And she said, well, you know, your boyfriend knows your partner knows you're not vaccinated, right, Mom? And that was the opening. And I decided I just really needed to be forthright and said, actually, I am. So silence. And then she started crying. And then it led into a little conversation. But I guess I was feeling pleased with my reaction. Ordinarily, I would react with, fright and just a knot in my stomach. Oh my God, here we go. And frankly, I don't know if there will be any reaction, but I explained to her my particular reasons why and a few things. And then I deliberately did kind of change the subject. And I decided she needs time to integrate it. And so I'm kind of in the midst of that because there's, I'm sure, more when my other daughter and my sister, who's coming here, they may have some feelings about it. So this is just one of those examples, no, I'm not my body, but then here's a situation I have to make a decision about. I want to do traveling. I have a partner who's immune compromised, yada, yada. So just one of those situations where, you have to have compassion for yourself and others. And I'd like there to be a bridge for all of us, regardless of what our choices, decisions, and beliefs are. Can we come together in love and just allow people to make their own decisions and be harmonious? So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Beautiful, Gwen. Yeah, I feel the same way. People that believe in the vaccine and feel drawn to get a vaccine, get the vaccine. People who don't. I hold nothing against anyone. I may not go to a place where I know there's going to be a lot of people that are not vaccinated and won't have the courtesy to mask if they're feeling like they have a little bit of a head cold or even they think it's allergies like my friend did. But it's my choice and I'm not holding it against them. They're not holding it against me. Let's just get along, people. Right? So I completely get it, Gwen. And I applaud you for being courageous enough to be honest with your daughter. Because I know that's not always easy. Because I've been an anti-vaxxer for a long time, just like you. Maybe not my entire life, but a long time. So it is what it is. Thank you for sharing that. Who else would like to share on the reading or anything else that came up? Go ahead, Phil.
Hi, everyone, and thank you for starting us off. And where I'm going to start right at the beginning. What is an idol? Do you think you know? For idols are unrecognized. And then I go to number 5. Their purpose is obscure and they are feared and worshipped, both because you do not know what they are. Sorry about that. No, because you're feared and worship because you do not know what they are for and why they have been made. An idol is an image of your brother that you would value more than what he is. Idols are made that he may be replaced no matter what their form. And this was really powerful for me because uh, I just went to like, what are the idols that I am still making of my own self? And it's even about this vaccine as it came up, it is an idol. And so and the way it struck me is like I'm focused on the form, and and I have forgotten that we are all spirit, and this body seems to take so much precedent over what my true identity is. And I just put a side note like I am unhappy because I am worshiping the idol and not my true identity. And that is why it feels uncomfortable, and that is why I feel unhappy because I am worshiping the idol that is not who I am. And so, so that is really making me dysregulated. And being in this here with all of you is helping all of us to be regulated. We come with our dysregulation, having all these feelings or thoughts or discomfort or feeling something is bothering me. And here is the space we are regulated because everyone else is reminding ourselves and reminding each other that we are the Christ, we are the love. And as long as we are not love, we are being dysregulated. And this place is where the love is, and that is where my regulation is. So I get regulated here. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil. I get regulated here too. Get to line up with love. Robin, go ahead.
I was actually just agreeing with Phil, but I would, Phil, are you done? I mean, yeah. Well, I just wanted to go back to where you were and read the sentence number 8, because that's so great too. So paragraph 1, 8, and it is this that never is perceived and recognized, be it a body or a thing, a place, a situation, or a circumstance, an object owned or wanted, or a right demanded or achieved, it is the same. So we have all of these problems, and they're nothing. So I just wanted to slip that in there. I'm really checking in for paragraph 2, and you guys are going to love this because I always choose where the word quiet shows up, but I can't help it. It's just so wonderful. And I'm going to start at paragraph 2, 6. and thus must seek beyond his, well, let's go up to higher. No one believes in idols who has not enslaved himself to littleness and loss, and thus must seek beyond his little self for strength to raise his head and stand apart from all the misery the world reflects. This is the penalty for looking not within for certainty and quiet calm that liberates you from the world and lets you stand apart in quiet and in peace. Well, any sentence that's going to have quiet and peace in it, I'm going to be choosing. But I'm also choosing, I've begun to add strength, and we all know what that means. But when you're really actually making a decision for love or fear, I'm noticing that if I bring strength or have it with me, I might still be a little bit hesitant, but it gets me over the hump. Not every time. And I do find myself meeting myself where I am and then loving myself. But more and more, I'm calling in strength. So I just wanted to put that with quiet, quiet peace. So thank you.
Thank you, Robin. I love quiet strength. And that's where I was in my meditations this morning, just completely like imagining myself that I just dropped into this space, that I don't have a past, that I don't have a future to worry about, that I'm just here right now. And I'm just allowing the strength and the quiet to fulfill me. Because, I mean, it says at the beginning of 5, what is an idol? Nothing, with an exclamation point. No thing. It is nothing. Except for when we attach our belief to it. Go ahead, Carla. Thank you, Robin.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It says it in the paragraph 6, the first line. An idol is established by belief, and when it is withdrawn, the idol dies. Now, I thought it would, I did it and it worked and it seemed wonderful, but what I realized is it's every moment, because there is only now, right? And I've been putting stuff together, but because we're one, and some people believe other stuff besides love, besides what if your thing, whatever, all judgments, whatever. The thought's going to come into my mind. Now, my choice is whether I believe it or not. Asked, I didn't even know I was asking. I just asked. I realized. I said, "Why does it seem so real sometimes? It feels so painful. It's so excruciating." And I was told this, because your true self is real. And this is my interpretation. It's not the body. It's the essence of who we are is real. And it's our belief that gives it this sense of seeming true. Now, I'm in my 60s, and do I believe what I believed when I was 20? No. Does it change the truth? No. But it changes me. It changes me. Changes my peace and my joy with life. And so I'll read. I don't know if I got this right, but this is why the events of the world can never bind you. All suffering comes from the interpretation of your overlaying over events. And in that moment, you have used God's gift to you, which is the power of awareness, to create this experience. Seems like I've had so many uncomfortable, painful, we'll call painful experiences. Why? Because I wasn't willing to let go of believing it. It seemed real. My credit card seemed to need paid, but I can do that with joy. I've never not been able to pay my credit cards, so why get stuck in the fear of thinking, of believing fear and lack? It's really, the money is the hardest thing to let go of, really. Maybe the body is too, but I could tell you my experiences of the last month. And so, and if I told you, you go, oh my gosh, it's so something. But I know I'm starting to discover this is where I want to go. The only place I'm interested in, that everything that seems to happen is used by love for our good and the good of all. I could tell you, it seems so challenging, but as I let go of believing the mind's interpretation, I'm so much more peaceful. I'm so much more happy. Lesson 2 in the Course in Miracles, we give everything meaning. It's so something. It's interesting to discover that, because I was walking down a couple days ago, and this heavy set lady slammed the door and right in front of me and left the room. I was thinking, I noticed the thought, oh, she's so this and she's so that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, all the judgments that I make, all the interpretations I'm making, I'm not willing to judge myself for that. I'm grateful that I saw it. I mean, I see it every moment. It's okay. We are love, having a body experience, learning the truth of who we are. Okay, show me the truth. I'm really, really, really grateful for all my errors. It seems so painful. It's really a divine alarm clock telling me. I'm really grateful. For God, love, truth, life doesn't give up, never stops loving us. So I'm willing to love myself in my learning, in my experience, in my remembering who I am and living. Is that love? Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Beautiful. I know from what I am seeing in the world and what I am seeing in myself, like the body and money are two of the biggest false idols that we have in this world. And when you really think about it, what it really comes down to is what we are searching for is safety. And we can remember that we are already safe, that we are already at home with God, that is the truth of our being, that God pursues us relentlessly. All we have to do is turn and accept it, be open to receive it. I'm ready. You ready? Go ahead, Leslie.
I just want to comment on that too, because money has been a thing with me too, as far as an idol, and these gas prices. I've just been torturing myself about the gas prices. I mean, it's like I go when I'm driving, it's like I check out all the gas, and it's insane. It is absolutely insane. And the insane part is I'm resisting it. And Carla, I wish I could just give you a hug right now, honey. I really do. Anyway, it's like I do have a choice. I can stay home and not drive anywhere. That is a choice I have. Or I can drive somewhere and pay the gas prices because I don't have an electric vehicle, and the choice is mine. I mean, and I'm willing to do my part. I'm willing to do something if somebody tells me what to do. But right now, I can do nothing. I mean, I'm not a political person. I don't care about politics. I mean, it's just that's not my talent. That's not where my strength lies, but I'm also a 2 and I want to help and I like to fix things. And I was talking to my mom today and she's like, honey, it's all you're resist. And it's like when I'm driving my car and it's like, I want to be able to drive where I want to drive, when I want to drive and not think about gas prices. And now I feel like I'm like, oh, I want to go here for lunch, but do I really need to? And I love what you just said, Linda. It's so true because I know I've always wanted a certain amount of money in my savings account, certain amount of money, and if it fell below that, it was like, oh no. And it was like, I always thought that as my safety net, and that is not my safety net. God is my safety net. And even with the gas prices, I'm like, I can afford the gas prices right now, but what if like poor Humera right now in California, what if gas prices get to be $8 a gallon or $9 a gallon? I mean, Scott filled up his truck yesterday and it was $95. And Humera again is probably going, yeah. So I'm willing to heal from this. I'm willing to let go of my idol of money. I'm willing to see the truth of it and that God is my safety. And I live in an abundant universe. There is abundance everywhere, even in gas prices. So when I drive, I'm going to be grateful I have money for gas. I'm going to keep my eyes on the road and not keep looking at gas prices. And what else can I do? And I'm open to suggestions. I mean, has anybody else been having trouble with this one? Because it was like Scott went to golf and it was like 5:01. He came home from gas and it was 5:29, like went up 30 cents in like 4 hours. It's just like, wow. And it's a dream and it's illusion and it feels so real. And I'd much rather spend my money somewhere else, but anyway, that's my little rant. And I didn't mean for it to be a rant. It's an idol. It is an idol. It's a false idol. And I'm willing to let it go. In fact, I'm going to put it on the altar right now.
Beautiful, Leslie. What if every gas station you went by, you just blessed that gas station, that you just bless the gas, that you bless the people that bring us the gas, that you bless the part of the earth that allows us to receive that gas?
It's going to make me cry. That's beautiful, Linda. Thank you. That's a wonderful suggestion. I can do that. That's something I can do.
Exactly. And it's powerful stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Mark, and then Carla, and then Robin.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I should say because I want to comment on this and also like sharing how I had a period of a couple of weeks and especially maybe the last week in which I was in a real nice flow. So I want to share about that, but at the same time, since yesterday, I'm down a little bit. I'm falling off the. It feels like a little bit like you're falling off of grace, but you don't. That's not true, of course. But you know, so I was thinking, like, should I say something about that? Yeah, maybe I'll start with that, and then I'll tell. Is that okay? Because yesterday I had a quite serious discussion with my wife. We've been together for 12 years and we have a very loving relationship. But yesterday it got so clear what. Now this is an whole other topic, but anyway, how my spiritual practice influences our relationship, because I'm not interested anymore in a in like specialness, and that's really a hard thing. So we had a conversation about that, and I'm a little bit out of balance. I'm not really sure. It's also not. It's been quite a long time that I didn't feel. That I felt like a little bit upshaken. You know, I've had quite a long time where I felt like, okay, so things happen and I could manage and I could get back to spirit, but now it's a little bit hard. But it will fall into place, I guess, and maybe, I don't know, a couple of days, maybe a week, maybe a few weeks, we don't know. It will get better. But anyway, I wanted to share about the spirit I had before, because there was so much grace in like being able to how do you say coupling, no, how do you say partnering up with the spirit and where I really felt, I don't know if you have that, but if you're in a flow where you are partnering up with spirit, then it's like every time when you're drawn to an idol, because that is the one thing that disturbs your peace, it gets quite easy to catch it because you are already in such a peace, and then you catch it and you get back to partnering up quite fast, like sometimes within a few seconds, or if it's not a few seconds, it's a couple of minutes, and you think like, oh, hey, my peace is gone, and you know what has been happening, so you can get back and say, okay, I made a choice to listen to the ego here, and you get back, and it got me really in a flow of grace, and that was really nice. And what came to mind when we're talking about the idol of money and so on, like gas prices, I like 2 days ago I had this I was doing the lesson number 79 and 80, which is about problems. I found it so helpful, this lesson, because it's like, let me, I don't know, let me recognize the problem, I guess it's called something like that, and let me recognize that there are no problems. And it's like every time when you catch yourself thinking in a problematic way, it's like, oh, I'm experiencing gas prices. Ooh, oh, I'm experiencing a problem. Let me let me partner up with spirit again, and then know that, okay, no, this must be an illusion, the whole problem thing, because I'm in grace with spirit, and then you can get back and relax, and that's such a nice place to be in. But of course, it also took me a while to get there, because you need to, like, if like now, I today and yesterday I couldn't just get there, because there's too much turmoil, and then it's harder. But when you're there, and it also has to do with willingness, like, you're there, and because in the past, I when I got into this grace, I fell into the, how do you say, you fall into the trap of thinking, oh, now it feels nice, and then you stop being vigilant for God. That's being vigilant for spirit. Like, stay vigilant for spirit, because otherwise you're going into mind wandering and you're off again. That's what happened all the time. But this period of a few weeks that I had, it was like I knew I'm not going. I don't want to slip off now here, because I'm doing harm to myself and to my peace. Now I'm at peace. Now I'm going to be vigilant, and that was really nice. But that was a key. So maybe that's helpful to other people as well. That like it really pays off to be vigilant once you're in the grace. Yeah. So, but the thing with relationship, that's an all other topic, but it's it can stir up something.
Thanks,
Okay.
Mark.
Thank you. Bye.
It's so beautiful. And what came up in my mind when you were talking was, we're in the flow, and the water is, if it doesn't ebb and flow, then it becomes stagnant. So you're gonna hit, if you're in a river and the river is flowing, you're gonna hit spaces where it's turbulent, where it hits rocks, where it goes over waterfalls. But guess what? That water is purified when that happens, and so are we. So as long as we're not attaching any judgments about ourselves being in those spaces where things feel a little more turbulent, and just know that it's just other stuff coming up for healing, and bring it on.
Yeah.
We're healing it out. Let's do it.
Yeah. That's it. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. Carla, Robin, and then Hamira.
I want to tell you an experience I just had. So as you were talking, Leslie, my eyes were drawn to a certain paragraph that was perfect. But I'm like, but then I was guided to speak from my own experience. So I'm going to do that. So for a month and a half, my renter has been trying to get this rental assistance, and it hasn't been happening. And this month, he didn't pay the mortgage. So I can do 1 month. And then beyond that, I'm kind of hurting a bit. And so I got disturbed because I've tried to contact him and he's not responding, and when he was wanting my help, he was so good at responding. But so this is all forgiveness opportunity for me. So I noticed he hadn't paid. He has it until 5th, and it was done, and so I texted David, said we need to do something, and then it came, he says, I'll contact you in 30 minutes. And I'm like, what can I do for 30 minutes? Well, I ended up calling the rental assistance agency that he's trying to get money from. And they said they sent a check out Thursday. So before that happened, I really went through a moment of experience like sadness and upset, and it passed really quickly. Did that make the check be sent Thursday? No, but I just know for me, what I choose, that life is an opportunity, for me to choose how I'm going to respond to whatever happens. I can't choose what my renter does. I can't choose the agency of the paying me. The only thing I can choose is how I respond to that. Now I guess I'll read this one, the one that's real short. You are free to be in a state of love in the midst of any context. As you watch and observed the states of temporality come and go. And that's what I did. I noticed how I felt, and I actually cried for a second, not very long, but I felt it and feeling the emotion and loving myself, even while I was feeling that emotion, it passed. This is the last thing. For where the mind chooses to rest in love, all things that arise and pass away are remembered and restored and sanctified, and you are in perfect peace. I don't always stay there. Silly me, I forget sometimes. I love myself. I love the experiences. I love my feelings. I just love. And that's what we are. Feel them, love them. And if you can't love them, be grateful. Just grateful. Gratitude is a doorway to love. Be grateful that there is a gas station, that there is gas, that you can pay for it, that you have a car to friggin' drive. I don't even have a car. I'm walking everywhere. And that's not the same as when I was 20. But I'm grateful that I can walk. I'm grateful for everything that happens, whether it seems good or bad, because I know. Most times I remember everything is used for good. If God is love and God is everything, everything is love. Everything. The mind doesn't see it sometimes, but I choose. I choose what I believe. I believe in love. I believe I am love. And you and I are one. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Beautiful demonstration. Robin, and then Humira, if she can still talk, and then Mark.
Well, Carla, I just wanted you to know that every time I read or hear the word with A Course in Miracles and it talks about believing, you always pop up because you taught me that it isn't particularly the thing that's happening, it's that you believe what you are believing about it is where the work is. So that came from you, and I've quoted you often with that. Thank you. And I don't really have anything new, but just, you know, to add to the car situation and the oil is the food, the groceries. And we're like, Dennis is like, well, we're going to start soaking our beans. And I'm like, okay. But it's not really funny, but really, you know what? If we're coming from spirit, it's got to be start being laughable. And so Leslie, just what popped up when you were thinking about upsetting that was, and it is upsetting, any upset is where we can use that tool, and it's easier or more easily said than done, but is to recognize as quickly as you can, to just accept what is. And that's where you are, we have that grace, because it's like, thank you. And Carla, while you were reading, I might not have this totally correct, but you said part of what I just wanted to share, which is what we're always sharing with each other. And you said, where the mind rests, there is peace. So that little process of getting quiet and being still, aiming for peace, there's being calm and finding a place to rest. And in that, you'll have peace. And it really works, even for a moment. It makes such a difference. And someone just recently gave a little tool, and they said, when you get upset, no matter, well, I guess it would depend, because we do that. We make difference. We make large and small and small and large. But I've been using this because it's so simple. And it's like, when you get triggered and you get upset, and as soon as you can wake up, notice what was the trigger. Notice and bless. Oh, I can do that. I can remember that. So I'm offering that to you, Leslie, to notice and bless, and to all of us. Thanks.
Thank you, Robin. Amira, can you share? I'm not sure if you.
Yes, thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. And yes, Leslie, prices are crazy here in Los Angeles, California. Thank God I have a hybrid. I am grateful for that. But I wanted to ask, because piggybacking on what Mark was sharing earlier, because I've been off as well. And I know the difference when I'm in the flow and life seems easier, more, things kind of roll off. And when I'm not, everything feels so real. And I'm curious because, the lesson for today, today I learn to give as I receive. And we've talked about this in here before too, that the script is written when we're going to wake up. Like if there's a part in it where it says, time is a trick, a sleight of the hand, vast illusion in which figures come and go as if by magic. Yet there is a plan behind appearances that does not change. The script is written. When experience will come to end your doubting has been set. So Linda, my question is it like, so it's like, is it important? So, because I put so much emphasis and judgment on, oh, you haven't been doing the work. Oh, you haven't been praying enough or whatever. But if the script is written, am I going to wake up anyway? Like, I guess and is it that you can either wake up with joy, or pain can drive you to wake up? Is that the difference between what it's saying? Because if the script's written, it's written. Why am I like so hard on myself? Anyway, if you could answer that. That's an idol for me. The course has become an idol. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I believe that the script is written, and you can be, like Jennifer says, you can either be pushed by the pain or pulled by the vision. And the course is a fast track. But like you said, if you are using the course as an idol, like I was when I was having that experience where I didn't start at the beginning of the lessons at the beginning of the year, I was like punishing myself with my lessons because I had missed a bunch of them when Rudy was in the hospital. So it's so, love is the healer. So if you are having an experience that is challenging and painful, the answer is love. Love yourself. It does not mean that you are not doing it right. It does not mean that you are not doing enough. It's just a symptom that it's time for you to love yourself. love more.
How?
By celebrating what you are doing, by being grateful for what you do have, by recognizing the times when you have caught the thoughts that brought you pain, by patting yourself on the back when you go to prayer or meditation instead of going to some type of self-medication or self-soothing, by speaking kindly to yourself in your mind when things seem challenging, instead of berating yourself because you don't think you're doing enough or you don't think you're doing it right.
Thank you so much, Linda. It's really
You're
helpful.
welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Mark, and then Nancy Gill. You're muted, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. First, a short direction to Homera, because I had the same, and I think that was actually the beginning of this few weeks period where I had the flow. Was like I was really frustrated about my lessons, and because I had made a commitment to do the lesson right before I should go on, and okay, then I got stuck like for 2 weeks at the same lesson, and after this 2-week period I was so frustrated, and I was also acting out a little bit about oh my god, I'm doing something wrong. And then I actually got some place in the text, or it was, or I don't know what, or it was some text on Circles of Atonement website, where there was some helpful text about how to do the lesson, which was actually, it was saying, be lean on yourself and don't to yourself, and don't be for too much like a perfectionist. You don't have to. If it says like you have to do say something every 15 minutes and you skip a few hours, it's the intention that you set the intention at the beginning of the day. And so then I got some love for myself, and that was the beginning when I really got back in the flow. The other thing that was the reason why I raised my hand was when Carla was sharing. She said something about, which really was really helpful, Carla. I'm not exactly sure what you said, but you were reading something about well, about the turmoil and going back to God. And then I realized just in a moment when you were speaking, I realized, okay, I am my emotional body, like my emotional how I feel emotionally, has been my idol the last 2 days. And then I realized, okay, but there is actually a place of peace which I can reach, and just let my emotional turmoil be what it is and go more in myself. And there is peace. So just let, I realized I'm hanging on, clinging to being emotionally at peace, but there can be emotional turmoil, and then there is still a place of peace, which is even more inside. So that's what I wanted to share, because I realized it in the moment when Carlos spoke.
Thank you, Mark. That's brilliant insight. Brilliant. Love that. Nancy Gale, and then we'll wrap up.
Hi, thank you. I have a whole bunch to say, but I know it's late. But this is what I wrote. This was awesome. This was totally awesome. Like the rest of my life is going these days, but this is what I wrote. This is what I wrote. Um, okay, make it simple and I'll just read it. It's very simple. This is I've had this like healing miracles with Kieran J in the meditation and the silence and connecting with the spirit. Oh my God. Anyways, my mantra was always, I want to be free to be me. And with the miracle, the healing is now I am. I am. It's like I haven't shared it with you guys, but 2 weeks ago, and I will at one point. Anyways, so now that I'm free, I am free to be me. Okay, so it's like, and now here I sit. It's like my life was always. I have my life. I'm free to be me. I'm not controlled by somebody else's plan for me or design for me or whatever they want. It's like it's me, but it's like I don't know how to organize my life. I don't know. I don't have a plan for my life. I always let somebody else, like my mom, then my husband, then a job, etc. It's like they always set the design, whatever, and I just fit into that, whatever that was. Now there's nobody to do that except me, and I don't know how to do it. So my daughter was saying, he says, why can't you make decisions? I said, I don't know, but that's what I figured out. It's like, I always, all my decisions were to follow the structure or the design or the plan. But so here's what I said. Okay, life, question, structure, design, plan. It came from the outside, from someone else, from a job. That's where all the structure came from my life. From my mom, from my husband, from school, for a job. Now it's me. And I don't know how or what to do. But my life was controlled or set by the world outside of me, right? And this also goes to the reading today because it's in the reading here. So now it's like I wrote, okay, now it must come from me, the inner guide, the Holy Spirit, Papa, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus. And that's what it says in here. What did you say? The penalty for looking outside, right? And it says you have to look within. So there it is. This, and I wrote this before I read this. Okay. So now the structure, the plan for my life must come from within me, from my inner guide, the Holy Spirit, Jesus, from the course, lesson 361, which I have been doing. All right. Okay. Go to the Holy Spirit. Whatever you need, anything, He will tell you. He will guide you what to say, what to do. If you need a thought, how to think about something. Okay. So here's what I wrote. I can stop playing small, right? I just did the pop playing small thing with retreat with Jennifer, right? I can stop playing small by remembering the truth. I'm not alone. Who the truth is. Okay, the truth. Who I am by remembering the truth. Who I am, God's child. Who God is, my creator, my source. Who the Holy Spirit is, my guide and helper. Who Jesus is, my human model and teacher. And this is it. I never have to do anything by myself. The Holy Spirit will help me with everything. And then I wrote, remember my love connections. And it's like, and then I look back through my life and I'm thinking, oh, when I was loving, I connected with this people, with this group of people, with this person, with this, and all those connections were because I was being the love that I am. And that's what allowed me to connect with all of those other people. And so it's like, so now I have all of that. I didn't write them all down, but I have all of those love connections. It says, remember them. As I've already done that. I know how to do that because I'm struggling here, what to do now. I will go on, but I won't. But I would just absolutely in this, what do you call it? I'm in this A miracle is a change of mind. You change from the fear mode into the love mode. You
Yes.
realize the truth. That's what the miracle is. And I'm living in that.
Beautiful, Nancy Gale. You're a demonstration of a miracle.
I know, and it's so
Yeah.
cool. It's
It is.
really, it is so cool to actually see, oh, this is who I am. Instead of that, this is who I am, instead of all that other stuff,
Yeah.
you know? Oh, I have one prayer request for everybody, if you don't mind. I was diagnosed with cancer a while back, and we're starting the treatment next Monday. So, and it's a whole new world, and so, however you want to pray, just keep me in your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah.
and I wanted to say something. You know, Sundays with Spirit. I suggest everyone, if you did not hear it or be there, just go listen to it. It is so awesome.
Yeah, Aisha was
Seriously.
amazing. And Jennifer's meditation was
Right.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Well, with that,
Sorry.
I'm here. Cool. I'm just going to let everybody know that we're continuing in chapter 29, section 9. And the title of this section is The Forgiving Dream. The Forgiving Dream. So we're coming out of the fear part through the forgiving part. So I'm not going to read our insights because it's way too long, but today's lesson is today I learned to give as I receive. I will post the Pathways of Light insights in our Facebook and WhatsApp groups, so we can read them there if you feel drawn to do so. And just knowing Nancy Gale, our hearts and prayers are with you as you start your treatments on Monday, and just loving and blessing every single person here. So thankful for your presence and for being, you guys are my answered prayer. Totally my answered prayer. I never would have gone through this whole book without y'all. So thank you. I'll see y'all next week.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Love y'all.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank
Love
you.
Thanks,
you.
Linda.
Bye.
That was great. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
Bye.
everybody.
See you,
Bye.
Ted.